don't want chaos, we don't want to fight, but Antifa brings violence, breaking in the night. BLM riots, burning through the block. But law and respect keep our people on lock. We believe in God, in familiar pride. Two genders, one truth, nothing else to divide. Second Amendment, protect what's mine. Peace when we can, strength when it's time. We are Americanos, proud and free. From the barrios of Cali to the whole country. Protect our keys, don't twist our youth.
Buenos dias. Good morning, California. How you guys doing today? Triple B right here, Americano Grassroots Revolution podcast here in the state capital in California. We're here regarding SB 811. Many of you, like us, who are immigrants who came into this country, there's one industry that we always depended on to help put food on the table, to help our parents put gas in the car, to help pay the bills, and that's the recycling industry. Right now, there are policies in the state of California that can affect what we call the middle-class recycling industries, where many of us depend on in order to get this extra money just to survive. So there's a lot of policies, legislation. There's a hearing that's going to take place out here in Sacramento. So we're here today to give you the information because we're here to protect you, the working class. We know this is important for you to hold. This is money that you need to help pay bills and so on and so forth. So we're going to walk over to the Capitol. What are you doing here?
Fighting SB 811.
Oh, wow. You know what's
on the docket. It's that important.
It's interesting because that's what we were just talking about.
Okay.
We're actually here because we want to get some, want to get the senators on record. We want to give them some education. We want them to hear the voice of the voiceless.
Right.
That's why we're here. So briefly tell me what you want to be accomplished, why you're here, what you want to do.
Our goal today is to amend SB 811 because with these amendments, we can save a lot of the community recyclers from adopting the costs that will be implemented from the state of California. It would also help a lot of the smaller recyclers stay in business and be able to operate in California without having more undue burdens placed upon them, more business practices that absolutely have no scientific backing to it yet. The current standards that we have right now are working. So our goal today is to make sure that these legislators and representatives hear from the people firsthand and hear from the people that cannot be here to advocate for themselves, because sometimes a bag of cans is a difference between dinner and dessert for some families. So
right.
We want to make sure that all families can live their lives as they see fit, especially right now when things are so expensive in California. Every single cent, every single penny goes a really long way right now.
It's interesting that you make that point because we actually, when we heard about the bill, we actually went to recycling industries because we wanted to get a firsthand conversation, knowledge, and talking to the clients, right? The customers there. And we even had some homeless individuals. They have their baskets, they're picking up the trash on the streets. So we asked them, what is the purpose of you doing this? This is that extra money to feed themselves.
Right.
Then we talked to a family. It was a family, and they had 3 children with them. We got it all on our website. Everything is on there where people can look at it. And these kids are saying, if it wasn't for this, because I come out here with my daddy because I like to help to get extra money because this is the money that my dad uses to buy us clothes, school supplies, and put food on the table. Would you agree with that?
1,000%. Absolutely agree with that. I mean, how else are companies like Air One recycling their cans and their jars to put their soups in? That's the original thing we used to do, right?
Yes.
We would recycle our cans, we would recycle and reuse our glass jars and be able to reduce, reuse, and recycle, right? That's what we grew up doing.
Well,
now
like
we're in this process now where we're educating our kids to just throw it away and you don't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah.
And that's become the problem. Nobody's thinking about the process. What does that look like for that family that now their local recycling center shut down and they have to drive 30 miles out to their next local one? I mean, what parent's gonna choose between a $40 gas a tank or tank of gas, or just say, you know what, I'm gonna keep the cans at home and just toss them?
It's going to cost you $40 just to get $10, if they
And
do
it
these
impacts
policies.
the environment even more.
Absolutely. And then we talk about the implementation, right?
Right.
It's that California is already in a crisis as it is. The cities, what have you. So where are you going to get the extra manpower and the extra money to do this? Do you think that's a concern as well?
I don't think as much of a concern with the money. The money's always there. Mm-hmm. The support wants this to pass because they want to be able to cede all the power back to the special interest groups, the corporate companies that have the stronghold on this. And that's the big problem. That's exactly why the legislators are here fighting for the people. So if they're fighting for the people, they need to consider the constituents that this is impacting. The larger corporations, you think they're recycling cans? No, you have executives sitting making 7 figures a year. They don't care about a 10-cent can. But our communities do. 10 cents, 10 of those cans is $1.
Yeah.
Think about it. And $1 goes a very long way.
And you know what? Last point, because I know you got to get in there and do your thing. what we notice is a lot of the owners of these recycling industries actually started by collecting bottles and cans.
That's right.
And now they have these facilities and now they want to take their bread and butter away.
Right.
Have you noticed that as well?
I have, and that's also a theme of California right now. It's become extremely difficult for businesses to do business in California and to stay in business. And that's why we need to be here doing the work, having these difficult conversations and holding them accountable in a way that they can respond to us and work together with us to make sure that we're fixing all these issues. We're not here to fight. We're not here to be combative. We want to be able to bridge the gap in all of these conversations because these are things that affect all Californians.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be, if it's recycle, somebody's got to pick up that cost. You know, it's our pockets, our tax dollars.
Yeah. Is there an action you want them to do after they see this video?
I do. I want you guys to scan this QR code right here and take action. Email your representative and let them know why recycling is important to you and why we need to make sure that we're protecting this for our communities and for the future as well, because we do want to see a clean environment, but we also want to balance that with making sure people can stay in business. And another thing, I want you guys to do what I do. Don't be scared. You cannot be scared doing this
Right.
work. You cannot be online complaining and not putting your boots on and getting dirty. You need to get your hands dirty, get in here and do something, because the complaining has gotten us to where we're at, and now we have to dig ourselves out of this hole. Grab a shovel and start digging.
That's right. No more social media warriors. All right. Triple B, Jessica Cabrera, Americano Grassroots Revolution. Have a good day, California. California, how you guys doing? This is Triple B. That's right. Benito Bernal with the Americano Grassroots Revolution. Hey, look, I just want to get back to you guys. I want to say thank you for those of you who just actually responded to our call to action. What was it all about? Well, you know what? The recycling industry right now is under attack, ladies and gentlemen. And the recycling, we're talking 3 different levels. We're talking the small recyclers, we're talking the mid-sized recyclers, and then you're talking the mega recyclers. Well, the mega recyclers are the ones that pretty much recycle. They tear down the vehicles, the appliances, the refrigerators, so on and so forth, which of course create a lot of different emissions. There's a lot of chemicals that things are involved. So they're required to have these multi-million-dollar machines to be able to do that. Well, the middle recyclers, the smaller recyclers don't do that kind of stuff. You know, they're bottles, cans, copper, sheet metal, stuff like that. And these are the recycling industries that many of us depend on. Even me today, even though I was forced to retire early, I still, you know, collect my bottles, my cans, $40, what have you. It puts food on the table. So when we heard about what was going on here in the state of California, we actually went out to recycling industries. We did interviews. We put it on our website. Then we put out a call to action, because I need you guys to understand. This is why I want to share this with you. And if you look at my website, you'll be able to go and you'll be able to see the rest of what took place. But your voice is powerful. You have to understand that your voice is, it's not just about being a social media warrior on your Facebook or social media accounts. It's not just about sending emails, you know, it's making them phone calls to your elected representatives. When you start calling your elected representatives, that's where change starts to matter. But at the end of the day, if there seems to be no pushback, then they can just shove and they can speed things up. They can move things forward. They can pass bills in the middle of the night, as we've been seeing them doing. But when you, the people, actually take the time to make a phone call, to send an email to your elected officials, especially the committee members, it makes a difference. You did it. You heard the call, you made the calls, you sent the emails, and now everything's been pushed back. The hearing has been set back for about another month. So now we have about another month to take more action so that we can really open up the eyes of these politicians so they understand who is this going to be affecting. Not just the business owners, the middle size and the smaller size recycling business owners, but it's going to hurt the very people who these parties claim to be fighting for, the working class and the poor. So thank you for your action. It's not over. Check out our website, Americano Grassroots Revolution. We're ready to rock and roll. Thank you. God bless you. God bless America.